My daughter had a love marriage 2 months ago, but one night at 2 a.m., someone suddenly knocked at the door. When I opened it, I was shocked. My daughter was badly injured and full of fear. When she saw me, she collapsed on the floor and lost consciousness. I rushed her to the hospital for treatment. When she finally opened her eyes in the hospital, she told me the story about her ruthless mother-in-law and her husband. I was filled with anger and decided to seek revenge. The outcome was horrific. My name is Martha, and I live in Austin, Texas. I'm 48 years old, and I've been divorced for over a decade. The divorce was tough, but it was necessary. I had a daughter, Anna, who was just a child when everything fell apart. Raising her alone hasn't been easy, but every struggle has been worth it. Anna is now 24, and I'm proud to say she's grown into a strong, independent woman. When I look back on our journey, I remember the long nights I spent working multiple jobs to provide for us. I poured every ounce of love and care into raising her. Anna was always a bright girl, full of dreams and ambitions. I encouraged her to chase those dreams, even when it meant sacrificing my own. I wanted her to have opportunities one never had. As she grew up, Anna was reserved but hardworking. She studied hard and, after years of perseverance, finally landed a job at a company she had always dreamed of working for. It was a prestigious role, and I couldn't have been prouder of her. "Mom, I got the job," she had shouted one day, her eyes shining with excitement. I hugged her tightly, tears of joy streaming down my face. "I knew you could do it, sweetheart." But with success came new challenges. Anna met David, a 30-year-old financial consultant. They had been dating for about 7 months when he asked for my blessing to marry her. At first glance, David seemed kind, serious, and respectful. He worked at a major firm that collaborated with Anna's company, and I thought he could be the right fit for her. Still, a nagging voice in my head told me it was too soon. They were so young, and I had reservations about their relationship. "Are you sure you want to get married, Anna?" I had asked, trying to be supportive but cautious. "Mom, I love him. He makes me happy," Anna replied, her voice firm yet hopeful. Seeing her excitement, I eventually gave my approval. "If you believe this is what you want, then I support you," I said, trying to suppress my doubts. After the wedding, Anna moved in with David's parents, who lived about 30 minutes away. Although I was worried about her living with them, Anna reassured me. "They're nice, Mom. Everything will be fine," she promised with a smile that melted my heart. For the first month, everything seemed perfect. I would call Anna regularly, and she'd tell me about her new life. "Mom, you wouldn't believe how wonderful it is here. David is great, and his parents are so supportive," she would say. I felt a mix of happiness and unease. Something about the rapid change felt unsettling, but I chose to ignore my instincts. Then, without warning, Anna's calls started to dwindle. At first, I thought she was just busy adjusting to her new life, but as days turned into weeks, my concern grew. David had blocked my number, making it impossible to reach her. "What's going on?" I wondered aloud, my heart heavy with worry. One day, I decided to surprise Anna with a visit. I knocked on the door, but it was David's mother who answered. "What do you want?" she snapped, her tone harsh and unwelcoming. I felt my stomach drop. This was not the response I had expected. "Is Anna home?" "I just wanted to see how she's doing," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. "She's busy. You should call next time," David's mother said curtly before slamming the door in my face. I stood there for a moment, feeling a chill run down my spine. I tried to brush off my worries, but they continued to fester. My heart sank when I learned that Anna had abruptly resigned from her job. That's not like her at all, I thought, feeling a wave of dread wash over me. Something was seriously wrong. 2 nights later, around 2 a.m., I was jolted awake by a frantic knocking on my door. I stumbled out of bed, my heart racing. Who could it be at this hour? I thought, fear creeping in. When I opened the door, I was met with a sight that shattered my heart. There stood Anna, her face bruised and swollen. "Mom," she cried, collapsing into my arms. I held her tightly, trying to comprehend what I was seeing. "What happened?" I gasped, panic rising in my chest. I'm so scared, Mom, she sobbed, trembling in my embrace. It's terrible. I can't go back. As she began to tell me her story, my heart broke further. David had turned into a completely different person after the wedding. He demanded she quit her job, and soon, he and his parents began treating her like a servant. They forced her to do all the housework while restricting her access to food and water. Whenever I tried to stand up for myself, they would hurt me, she said, her voice trembling with fear. I felt a rage ignite within me. You're safe now, sweetheart. You're home, I whispered, cradling her head against my shoulder. We'll figure this out together. But in that moment, as I listened to her terrifying account, I knew I had to do something. I would not allow anyone to hurt my daughter. This was only the beginning of our fight against the darkness that had engulfed Anna's life. I was determined to protect her, no matter the cost. As I held Anna tightly, her trembling body slowly calmed, but my mind raced with anger and fear. The reality of her situation hit me like a freight train. I had always known that the world could be cruel, but this was beyond anything I could have imagined for my little girl. I knew that I needed to act quickly and decisively to help her reclaim her life. Let's get you cleaned up, I said gently, leading Anna to the bathroom. I filled the tub with warm water and added a few drops of lavender oil, hoping it would soothe her frayed nerves. As she settled into the water, I took a moment to gather my thoughts. What am I going to do? I muttered under my breath. I knew I couldn't let this go unpunished. David and his family had taken advantage of Anna's kindness, and I was determined to make them pay for their actions. Mom, what if they come after me? Anna asked, her voice shaky. They won't touch you again, I promise, I reassured her. You're safe here. I couldn't allow her fear to consume her any longer. She needed to know that I was on her side, ready to fight for her. After her bath, I helped Anna bandage her bruises and offered her some tea to calm her down. Tell me everything, sweetheart, I urged, my voice firm but gentle. I need to understand what happened so we can plan our next steps. Anna took a deep breath and began recounting her experience. After we got married, everything changed, Mom. David became controlling. He would watch me all the time, like I was a prisoner in my own home. He said I wasn't allowed to go out unless he was with me. When I came home late from work, he would yell at me. His parents backed him up, saying it was my duty to take care of the house. My heart sank as she spoke. They made me quit my job, saying I was too busy and that I needed to focus on being a good wife. I didn't want to quit, but I felt like I had no choice. Then, they just started treating me like a servant, and every time I tried to stand up for myself, they would beat me. Anger boiled inside me. This is unacceptable. We need to confront them, Anna. They need to know that what they've done is wrong, I declared, my voice rising. Mom, I'm scared, Anna replied, her eyes wide with fear. What if they hurt you? What if they come after us? I won't let that happen, I promised, my resolve strengthening. You're my daughter, and I will do whatever it takes to protect you. We need to go to the hospital tomorrow to document your injuries. Then, we will confront David and his family. The next morning, I helped Anna get dressed. She wore a simple, modest outfit that I hoped would make her feel strong. You look beautiful, I said, trying to lift her spirits. She managed a small smile, but I could still see the worry in her eyes. After we visited the hospital, where doctors examined Anna and took photographs of her injuries, we headed to David's family home. The drive was filled with tension. I could feel Anna's anxiety mounting. Mom, what if they don't let us in? She asked, biting her lip. We'll find a way, I assured her. We're not leaving until we get some answers. As we arrived at their house, I felt a surge of adrenaline. I parked the car and turned to Anna. Remember, I'm right here with you. We'll face this together. Taking a deep breath, I marched up to the front door and knocked firmly. A moment later, David's mother opened it, her expression immediately hardening when she saw us.
What do you want? She snapped.
I need to speak with David, I said, my voice steady. And I want to talk to you, too. This is serious. Before she could respond, I pushed my way inside. Anna hesitated but followed. Mom, Maybe we shouldn't, she started. No, Anna. They need to hear what they've done, I insisted, feeling a surge of courage. David appeared, and the moment his eyes met mine, I saw a flicker of fear. What are you doing here? He demanded, his tone defensive. Anna is leaving you, I declared, my voice ringing with authority. You've abused her, and I won't stand for it. You will face the consequences of your actions. His face flushed with anger, and he stepped forward, attempting to intimidate me. You don't know what you're talking about, Martha. Anna is just being dramatic. I stood my ground. No, David. You've broken my daughter, and I won't let you get away with it. You treated her like a servant, and you've harmed her in ways you cannot even imagine. David's mother chimed in. You need to control your daughter, Martha. She was never meant to be a working woman. She's a wife now, and her duty is to this family's. Anger coursed through me. Your so-called family is toxic. You've manipulated and abused Anna for too long, and I won't allow it anymore. Just as David raised his hand as if to strike me, I stepped back, instinctively bringing my arms up. Touch me, and I'll have you arrested, I warned, my voice steady. Anna, emboldened by my presence, spoke up. I'm done, David. I want a divorce. I refuse to live like this anymore. His face contorted in disbelief. You'll regret this, Anna, he sneered. But I stood tall, knowing that this was just the beginning of our fight. Together, we would take back her life. As we walked out, I turned back to face David and his family one last time. You will answer for what you've done, I promised. With determination in my heart and Anna by my side, I knew this was only the start of our battle against the darkness that had overshadowed our lives. We would reclaim her dignity, and I would not rest until justice was served. After our confrontation at David's house, Anna and I drove home in silence. I could feel her fear mixed with a newfound sense of determination. It was a long ride, but we were both deep in thought, preparing for what lay ahead. I glanced at her, taking in her bruised face and the fire in her eyes that had been absent for too long. We need to go to the police tomorrow, I said firmly, breaking the silence. We have to report what he did to you. Anna nodded, but I could see the worry creeping back into her expression. What if they don't believe us, Mom? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. What if they think I'm just exaggerating? I reached over and squeezed her hand. They will believe you, Anna. We have the hospital records and photos of your injuries. You are not alone in this. I will be right there with you. The next morning, we gathered all the evidence we could, hospital documents, photos of Anna's bruises, and even notes she had taken about the incidents of abuse. Each piece of paper felt heavy with the weight of our fight for justice. I could see Anna's hands tremble as she placed the documents into a folder, and I knew she was both scared and resolute. As we arrived at the police station, I felt my heart racing. The walls felt like they were closing in, but I steadied myself. We can do this, I murmured to Anna, who was staring at the ground, lost in her thoughts. You are brave, and you have every right to seek help. When we entered the station, the officer at the front desk greeted us with a smile, but his expression quickly shifted to concern when he noticed Anna's condition. Is everything okay? He asked, leaning forward. No, it's not, I said, stepping in front of Anna protectively. My daughter has been abused, and we want to file a report. He gestured for us to sit down, and I could see the seriousness in his eyes as he took our statements. Anna spoke, her voice shaking but determined. My husband and his parents treated me horribly.
They forced me to quit my job and isolated me.
When I tried to stand up for myself, they hurt me. The officer listened attentively, taking notes as Anna recounted her experience. I have hospital records and photos, she added, her voice gaining strength. He nodded, clearly taking the situation seriously. Thank you for coming forward. We'll investigate this matter immediately. Your safety is our priority. Once the report was filed, we left the station feeling a mix of relief and anxiety. What happens now? Anna asked, looking at me with wide eyes. Now, we wait for the police to do their job. But this is just the beginning, I replied, feeling a surge of determination. We need to prepare for the next steps. Over the next few days, we received updates from the police. David's family was being investigated, and they were cooperating, at least for now. But I knew it wouldn't last. I felt a sense of urgency to take further action. We need to get a lawyer, Anna. Someone who can help you navigate this situation and ensure you get what you deserve. Anna looked uncertain. What if it gets worse? What if they retaliate? We will cross that bridge when we get there, I assured her. You deserve to be free from this nightmare. You deserve your life back. As we began to consult with lawyers, I couldn't shake the feeling that David and his family were preparing for a fight. I sensed they would try to manipulate the situation to paint Anna as a liar. But I refused to let them intimidate us. One evening, as we sat in our living room, Anna looked at me with tears in her eyes. I feel so broken, Mom. What if this never ends? I pulled her into a hug. You're not broken, Anna. You are stronger than you know. This is a fight for your freedom, and I will be right here with you every step of the way. We will not let them win. As I held her, I realized that we had come too far to turn back now. The road ahead would be tough, but together, we would face whatever challenges lay ahead. Justice was within our reach, and I would do everything in my power to ensure Anna reclaimed her life and dignity. The days turned into weeks as the investigation continued, and with each passing day, I could feel the tension building. David's family wasn't just going to sit back and let this happen. I knew they would fight back with everything they had. Anna and I met with our lawyer, Mr. Jenkins, who was determined to help us navigate this challenging situation. Your case is strong, he assured us during one of our meetings. The hospital records and photographs of Anna's injuries will support your claims. But we need to prepare for their possible counterattacks. They might try to discredit Anna and claim she's exaggerating or lying. Anna nodded, her face pale. What if they succeed? What if people believe them? Then we'll fight harder, I replied, squeezing her hand. This is about more than just you. It's about standing up against abuse and ensuring no one else suffers the way you have. As the weeks passed, we received news from the police that David's family was under investigation for more than just the abuse of Anna. They were involved in fraudulent activities at David's workplace. It was a shocking revelation, but it only solidified my resolve. We can use this to our advantage, Mr. Jenkins explained. If they are involved in illegal activities, it weakens their credibility. We can argue that they've been dishonest in all aspects of their lives. One afternoon, Anna received a call from the police. Mom, they want me to come in for more questioning, she said, her hands trembling. What if they try to twist my words? Just tell the truth, Anna. You've been brave so far. Don't let them intimidate you, I encouraged, feeling a mixture of pride and fear for my daughter. The next day, Anna went in for questioning while I waited anxiously at home. When she returned, she was visibly shaken but relieved. They were respectful, she said, her voice quivering. I felt like they believed me. We're making progress, I said, my heart swelling with hope. This is the path to your freedom. Weeks later, we stood in the courtroom for the hearing regarding Anna's divorce and the protection order against David. My heart raced as we took our seats. David and his parents were seated across the room, their expressions hardened. I could feel their animosity from a distance. When it was Anna's turn to testify, I squeezed her hand tightly. You can do this, I whispered, watching as she walked up to the stand. Anna spoke about her experiences, her voice steady, but filled with emotion. I felt trapped and scared. I didn't want to leave my job, but I was made to feel like I had no choice. They hurt me for trying to be independent. As she recounted the abuse, I saw the jurors leaning in, captivated by her courage. When she finished, I felt a surge of pride. My daughter was reclaiming her voice. Finally, the judge delivered the verdict. The court finds in favor of Anna. She is granted a divorce from David and awarded $80,000 in compensation for her suffering. Cheers erupted in my heart as tears of relief streamed down my face. I turned to Anna, who was beaming with a mix of disbelief and joy. As we left the courtroom, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. The battle wasn't over. There would still be challenges ahead, especially with the police investigation into David's family. But for the first time in a long while, I felt a sense of hope. Mom, we did it, Anna exclaimed, wrapping her arms around me tightly. Yes, we did, sweetheart, I replied, holding her close. This is just the beginning of your new life. You are free now, and no one can take that away from you. With newfound strength, Anna and I began the process of healing. We focused on rebuilding our lives, setting new goals, and creating a future filled with possibilities. I watched Anna transform from a fearful woman into someone vibrant and full of life, and I couldn't have been prouder. In that moment, I realized that our fight was not just about revenge. It was about reclaiming our lives and embracing our resilience. We had faced darkness together, and now we were stepping into the light, ready to face whatever the future held. Together, we were stronger than ever, and nothing could break our bond.